Man, this bye week flew by, didn't it? It's already Saturday morning and games are tomorrow. Championship football on for college today. And before you know it, Monday's gonna be here and the fellas is gonna be back preparing for the New Orleans Saints. This bye week flew by. But in today's video, I wanted to come on here and talk about how I personally feel the Washington Commanders are wasting the potential of this specific player. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. Want to the 8,000 subscribers, please help me get there as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. I'm feeling good. Just had my first week of back in the gym. I'm trying to, make that a lifestyle, and it felt good to get back out there and get back active. And let's make this 2024 into 2025 a real good year. Not for just the Commanders, but ourselves too, outside of our favorite team. But the player that I'm talking about, is Dyami Brown. I feel as though the Washington Commanders are wasting his potential. And it sucks because this is now the third offensive scheme, second regime as a whole, that I feel this is happening to. Contrary to popular belief, Dyami Brown is talented as I don't know what. For whatever reason, whether it's Scott Turner, Eric Bieniemy, now Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury, he seems to always be buried on the roster, or he always seems to have a game where it's like 4 receptions, 5 receptions. All right, Dyami, let's go. Get him more involved. Then the next week you're looking for Dyami, and he's nowhere to be found. Why hasn't this team unleashed him? You have to question that. Now, I want to say it's not just the team's fault, because there have been opportunities for Dyami and he hasn't taken advantage of it. Right? The Pittsburgh Steelers game, it was a drop in the end zone. We still scored on that drive, but there's a drop in the end zone. The Eagles game, there was a big drop too. So he's had his fair shares of drops. But you know who else had their fair share of drops? Noah Brown. And in my opinion, I love Noah Brown. And I would love to have Noah Brown back. But why can't that be Dyami? I personally feel that Dyami Brown is better than Noah Brown. Dyami is the only receiver not named Terry McLaurin that can actually take a screen to the house, can actually run after the catch. You see how he is on the screens. I think he's better at catching screens and run out the catches and, picking the right, correct lane than Terry McLaurin. The end arounds, the jet sweeps, who do those normally go to? Dyami Brown. He's going to be a free agent after this year. And Jay Daniels MVP. Shout out to Jay Daniels MVP, Brandon Jay Daniels MVP. Dyami Brown obviously is one of the notable free agents on that list. And I want him back. I know we're going to address receiver. So if we was to not bring him back, I wouldn't be pissed. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, we just lost Dyami. Like, dang. But he's a guy that I want back. He's a guy that I feel fits in this room. And even if we don't bring him back, he's going to end up somewhere else. And he may actually thrive there. Because he has the potential. I mean, I'm telling you guys, if you follow Dyami on Instagram, I don't think there's a person on this team that outworks him. His work ethic is amazing. On the bye week, he just posted a story a couple days ago. It's a bye week, but it ain't a bye week for me, basically. He still was getting routes and he was still getting work in. So you can't never question the hard work of Dyami Brown. He's going to put it in. And I just want to know, remember training camp? We were talking about how DB2 was wide receiver too, and he was getting all this love in training camp, and then in the preseason he had the ball thrown to Jay Daniels throwing the ball far sideline in the Jets game, first pass. Then he was his most targeted guy in preseason. And then, like, in a regular season, it just ain't translated to that. Now, I'm not saying he should be the most targeted guy because obviously that is Terry McLaurin, without a doubt. But we don't have a number 2 receiver or a true number 2 receiver we feel comfortable in. That's De'Ami Brown this season. I love Noah Brown. I think Noah Brown is really good. I wanted Noah Brown, and I thank him for his contribution, and I want him back as well. But why not give De'Ami Brown an opportunity? Noah Brown is going to be good for, jump balls and causing PIs, and he's good. He's reliable. But don't we want that guy that can stretch the field? We don't have that outside of Terry McLaurin. Noah Brown isn't taking a slant 60 yards to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So I hope we did some scouting over the weekend, over this past week off, and we realized we're not the most talented team offensively, or just in general for that fact. So we can't neglect guys. We got to use every soldier that we have. Because we don't just have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So we can't force feed Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, right? We don't have, let me see, who else can I go with? Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, right? We can't just force feed those guys. We have one dog, one guy, that is Terry McLaurin, and the rest are just regular dudes. But you have to use those regular dudes. So Tennessee was the perfect example of that. Cleveland, perfect example of that. Arizona, perfect example of that. Carolina, perfect example of that. This team is good. When we play our game, we're not that beatable. Obviously, you got your Eagles, you got your Detroits, who are better than us, so they're more likely than not if it comes down to the playoffs. Philly, I'm a little questioned about because I feel like if we bump with them in the playoffs, division third time, we may be able to get them boys. But realistically speaking, they're more talented than us. So those two teams are going to beat us, more likely than not, because their talent is going to outweigh ours at that point. But if we're talking about Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Minnesota, all those teams in front of us, right? Even Seattle or Arizona, we can bust them, bro. We can beat them. And literally just play our game. Replicate what we did when we won, when we started 7-2. What we did versus Tennessee, that's our game. Getting everyone involved, running the ball very well. That's what we do. And this week off was amazing. Chris Rodriguez running the heck out of the ball. That's the thing about C-Rod. Him playing was never the issue. It was the ball security. And if you know, as an NFL player, that's one way to get yourselves out of a job, out of the league, is ball security. C-Rod, man, he got me questioning, like, hey, B-Rob, C-Rod, Ashton Genty. Y'all know I keep throwing Ashton Genty up in there. But, man, he's been running the ball very well. So he's very capable of being that new Austin Eckler. Now, obviously, Austin Eckler is probably a way better pass catcher and run out to the catch kind of guy. But given the fact that he's still that short, stocky build, as in C-Rod, that is, you can move on from Eck and fill that void with C-Rod while still addressing and bringing in another speedy back. Like the Eagles. Like, I would love a Kenneth Gainwell. You know what I'm saying? You know what we could do with a Kenneth Gainwell? And that was Antonio Gibson. Not lesser degree because Antonio Gibson wasn't as quick or as twitchy, but that was AG. Imagine if we had a Tony Pollard, Dallas Cowboy Tony Pollard. Now, I know in Tennessee he's still doing well, but I'm talking about that 1 year Tony Pollard went stupid. Like, imagine we had a TP20. Something of that effect, right? Chris Thompson. Oh, my God. Could you imagine Chris Thompson in 2024? We know, bro. Chris Thompson was our leading receiver at one point at a point in time before. Imagine Chris Thompson. Now we need that now. I wouldn't even take it a step. A Capri Bibbs. Who remembers Capri Bibbs, number 46? Breaking that screen off versus Dallas way back. Like, we're missing pieces. But we have pieces, is what I'm trying to say. Like, we don't have the most talented guys or the most big name guys. And that's why we'll address that in free agency. But the guys that we do have, we can work with. I'm telling you. Like, we can work with these people. Deami, Alameda, Luke McCaffrey. Where's Luke? He caught some passes. Like, that's what I'm saying. Look at that Cincinnati game. Everyone was involved. Zach Ertz, John Bates, Luke McCaffrey. Everybody. We're not that talented to where we can just hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley 25 times. Or force feed A.J. Brown 17 targets. Or Devonta Smith. We don't have Devonta Smith or A.J. Brown. So we can't force feed guys. The way we win is gritty. The way we win is by contributing everybody. So if we can do that, I don't see no way this team can't make it to the playoffs and win a game. That's just me. But more of the story, Deami Brown. Let me see. Let me actually look at his stats right quick. Okay, let me pull up his stats here because it baffles me how every year he goes unnoticed. Like you know, like a couple years ago, that Tennessee game, when he caught his 2 touchdowns, I swear I thought that was the turning point in his career. I really did. And today, I mean this year, the deep ball down the sideline in Cleveland, man. So he has 20 receptions for 206 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. You know, and granted, again, he should have 2 because he dropped 1 and he had a couple passes. He has some meat left on the bones, don't get me wrong. But then you go over to Noah Brown. And Noah Brown is 35 receptions for 453 yards and 1 touchdown. So Noah Brown's our number 2 receiver, but he's not that significantly better than Deami Brown. You telling me Deami can't get you 35 for 453 in the buck and a touchdown? I beg to differ. But hey, man, let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comment section down below. Do you feel as though the Washington Commanders is wasting the potential of Deami Brown? Because, I mean, there's no guarantee that he comes back at this rate. I don't know if he comes back, how they believe in him. Down the stretch is going to let me know how much they believe in Deami Brown. Because he's a free agent next year. And, again, he's not nobody that's going to stop you from going out to get T. Higgins. But he's a guy that I think deserves to be in his locker room because he has the potential. Terry McLaurin loves him. He loves Terry McLaurin. I think Terry sees himself in Deami Brown. And I'm telling you, man, I think if we can unleash him down the stretch, bro, you're going to see how good DB2 can be for your team. So that being said, as always, me and boy Juan Gotti, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you help me reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Peace. We're 200 away from 8,000, so please help me get there. Please. All right, y'all. Peace.